This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia. Listen to my radio show, A Tip from Gilbert. Talk, inspiration, and prayer every Monday from 11 a.m. till noon on Houston's gospel leader, KWWJ. 1360 AM and streaming live on kwwj.org. Listen on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on kyokradio.org. KCOH 1380 AM on Sen Geek Radio 95.1 FM 1460 AM and Aliento Radio 101.7 FM and 1540 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then. All right, Houston, here you have me, Gilbert Garcia, with another tip from me. Talk, inspiration, and prayer. And I have three great guests today. And I'm going to do a couple of things. I do want to give a quick prayer as the end of Easter is just now past us. And I want to show you, of course, my favorite topic, my daughter, Juju Garcia, at one of her last choir performances. We're going to hear that in a moment. And I have an old friend of mine, Mr. Chef Willie Holmes. Chef, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Thank you for having me.
In a moment, I'm going to have you introduce all your guests that are with you and us. But I've got to tell you, sitting here with such a master chef, is there such a thing as master chef?
It is.
Yeah, well, that's what you are.
Is.
You're a master chef.
And I just got there 7 months ago. Congratulations to me.
Yeah, so
you know.
So it's real.
Hey, it is real.
There you go.
It is real. I've reached 14 years in my career.
Well, you know what? We got a master chef. And when you're here with all these chefs and everything, you know what? I'm hungry. I mean, because I look at y'all and I know that y'all have these great creations.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the funny thing is when you think about cooking and baking, it's much more than food. I mean, it's like an art.
It is.
Not only does it got to be, you know, delicious, of course we like, but it's also got to have a great presentation. Because that's what gets people first all excited and the build up and all the hype about food. And the other thing too is I want to talk a little bit about the business side of it all, because I know during the pandemic, you did a lot of great things.
Yes.
Because you had to adjust your
Correct.
business.
Correct.
And I just want to talk about that because a lot of the professional chefs and bakers, and by the way, is the right term chef or baker, or is it either one? Or what's the difference?
Both, but there's a huge difference.
Tell me.
There's a huge difference. So, you know, there's all types of chefs, from your executive chefs, your sous chefs, there's your saucier to your garde manger chef, you know. But then there's also in the world of desserts, there's your pastry chef, there's your chocolatier, there's your candy maker, there's your cake artist, then there's your home baker. So there's so many different levels with so many different genres. It's literally what that artist does for that. What's that chef's culinary point of view? I
see. So is a baker someone that does, I guess, sweets?
Correct.
Okay. Now I got it. Everybody hear that, Houston? So there are multiple different types of chefs.
But then also a baker could translate to bread. Is bread sweet?
Oh, there you go.
Think about it.
In the Latino world, it's sweet bread.
Right. Oh,
and for us, it is very sweet.
Pan dulce.
That's exactly right. For us, it's very, very sweet. But I want to make sure during the show that we really talk a little bit about your businesses, because I want people to know where you are and how can they hire you if they want you to, for lack of a better word, cater something. Because I've seen you, Chef Willie. I haven't seen your guests, but I'm sure they have too. I've seen you cater so many different events. You can do the small, the 15-person type dinner, but you can do the big.
Absolutely.
You can do weddings and hundreds of people, because I've seen you do it.
Correct.
And you know what? And it's all delicious.
Thank you.
I love, in particular, those chicken skewer things.
Oh, yeah. That's literally his favorite.
It is my favorite.
That is literally your favorite thing I can make for you right now.
Yeah, you know what? What you don't realize is behind your back, I take like 3 or 4 home.
No, and I see it, okay?
Yeah,
and I'm like, you know what? I make sure you have extra in there just for you, because I'm like, those are literally his favorite things. The chicken teriyaki sticks on the skewer.
It's just, and there's something about it that, you know, most of the time when you get chicken on a skewer, it's kind of dry.
Yes.
You know, you're kind of like getting your teeth
gnawing at it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not this.
No.
It's almost like, I don't know how you do it.
It's a trick.
It's a trick, or it's a secret recipe.
It is.
But at the end of the day, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to do a quick post-Easter prayer. Because, of course, Easter's such a big moment for all of us. And so it's a prayer that says it's the last Monday of April. That's the prayer. So it says, may God bless you with warmth in your home, love in your heart, peace in your soul, and joy in your life today and always. Amen.
Amen.
You know, that's what we need to live by.
Amen.
Those sorts of things where we give thanks and we start loving our fellow human beings. Because, you know, every time I open up the paper, there's some other, you know, terrible thing happened to somebody somewhere. It's just awful.
It is.
And so, Houston, let's all remember we're all sort of the same race, right? We're all the human race. And let's take care of each other. And if there's problems, let's work it out. You know, let's not get mean and hateful and no violence. That's what we need to do, Houston. Let's all do that. So going back, let's introduce your guest for us here.
Yes. Okay, so Chef, you've known me for years.
Yeah, I have. And I've eaten your food for
you've
years.
eaten it for years.
It's always good.
And I think a lot of your audience also knows who I am,
Yes,
Chef
yes.
Willie, for the most part. They know where they can reach me. But I think that, you know, with this time of the year, as we get ready to plan for the Bakers Guild Awards, which is going to be the 4th annual this year, we highlight the best and the brightest that Houston has to offer. And sometimes it might be that undiscovered person that you just never knew about.
Yep.
Or you did know, but you didn't know they were here in your city.
Yep.
You know, and it's just so surprising moment. So today with me, I brought 2 amazing chefs, award-winning chefs,
Woo.
Bakers Guild Awards winning, and then that and beyond, multi-talented, doing some amazing things in the city, some amazing culinary work in the city also. So I'm really excited. So the first one to my left, Mr. Gilbert, I want to introduce or reintroduce you to, because you might remember them
Yep.
from past either the Mass Baker
Yep.
or the Baker's Guild, so you might know. But first to my left is Chef Brandy Hines Boone, with the owner of Consuela's Kitchen, but also she's this year's Caterer of the Year.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Brandy. And it's
Yes.
Brandy Boone?
Yes,
Okay.
Brandy Boone.
Got it. Wonderful. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm excited to be here.
Well, that's super great. And our
then-
next,
And then also, she might be recognized. You might have seen her on the Food Network a couple times in the past. But here in Houston, she's doing some amazing things out in Katy as well. Her name is Chef Liz. She's the owner of Cake Fine Pastries. Amazing dessert shop out there. She was the Patisserie Vanguard Award winner that you awarded in 2022
wow.
at the Bakers Guild Awards.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I tell you, when I did that Baker's, I was a judge, Houston, and I am the because of course I didn't participate because I would not have done very well. But I was a judge, and I'm the right judge because I like to eat.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta love food,
No.
and I love food.
And I'm excited that this year she was, the board gave her the award for Best Boutique Bakery. In Katy.
I want to go into that in a moment, here,
Yes.
Miss Liz.
So congratulations on that, chef.
Miss Liz,
Thank you.
and you know what? You know, you got one of those outfits that people say, "Is there a chef in the house?" and we know exactly. Can we zoom in on that outfit there?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Look at that. And you know what's
Gotta have you on
interesting?
this side.
What's interesting is my wife and my daughter, of course, is 18. Juju, she's Juliana, but she's a Juju to me. They love all the baking shows, all of them. I mean, all of them.
Awesome.
All of them. The one that they love the most is the kids.
Oh, yeah.
The kids baker thing. And you know what's interesting about the kids is when you see them, some of these kids are like 9 or 10 years old, and they know so much. Yeah. And it's like you just can't be 9 years old because you sound like you're 19. And she knows all the stuff about how to do it and what ingredients work together.
Oh, yeah.
And that can only come from experimenting and really trying things, because you don't like get a book that says, okay, this goes with this. I mean, not really. You got to really, and you can see them and the joy they have participating in baking. That is phenomenal.
No, the kids absolutely love getting into it. I know for me, my nieces, they just absolutely love being in the kitchen, you know. And I'm not a parent, but I know the two ladies next to me are, and they can tell you way more about kids in the kitchen for sure.
He's actually been cooking now probably since he was about 2 years old.
Come on.
And he's 6. So yes, he can actually like fry fish, fry chicken,
Come on.
batter. And I also post him on social media too as well. So yes, season.
What's your social media? I want people to...
Consuela's Kitchen.
Consuela's Quick Kitchen. Let's see if we can put that on there. I want to see the. Is it a little boy or a little girl? I'm sorry.
It's a boy. It's a boy. His name is Case.
That little man making a fried fish. I mean,
yes, he can cook.
Now the good thing about that is, if you're really tired and he says, "Mom, I'm hungry," and you can say, "Well, why don't you just cook yourself something?"
Oh yes.
I mean, it's not like I need Mama to cook. Although I'm sure they love your cooking. We're gonna go to that in a second. Here we're going there.
There we go.
And they are funny too. Her little kids are funny, and they work so hard.
See if you can find a little clip of the young man there baking. I think that's wonderful. And so when y'all do your own, like, I don't know, Thanksgiving or something, are y'all like fighting for the kitchen? Like, no, Mom, let me be here.
No, he just want to help. He's very, appreciative and just want to just dive in and help. As a 6-year-old, they always, kids are curious and they want to learn. And
put your mic a little bit closer to you, please. No, your mic a little bit closer.
And when they see you doing something, they just want to do it too as well. So mine is very curious. So he wants to learn. And he when I say tasting all different palettes of the food, you'd be surprised. He loves from asparagus to salmon.
Wow.
To Brussels sprouts. My 6-year-old, he eat all that. Oh, and he has a very expensive palate. He loves lobster.
Oh my God! You're teaching him early.
Yes.
Well, the funny thing is, when I was growing up, of course, what kids did to bake was easy bake oven, and that's the little bitty thing where they make cakes about this big and this tall, and with light bulb. That was the extent of art baking, and I love to make those. But you know what? You're talking about real baking.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
From scratch.
Scratch. Yes.
Well, let's go to you, Miss Liz. So talk to us. So how did you? So Liz, first of all, you look like a baker, right? I mean, you look like a real. You are like the real deal.
I smell like a baker too. It makes you feel any better too.
That must mean you smell great.
Don't lick my skin, though. We'll be fine.
But let me ask you this: how did you get? I mean. Did you start when you were a young Liz?
No. My husband and I were in business doing something completely different out there in the construction world.
Yep.
And then I started going to school for music. And then I'm a singer also, but then I saw Duff Goldman on TV. I'm like, oh man, I want to try that. And then my husband's like, no, we're not going on a different road of success. And I'm like, all right, bet. And so he was like, well, I really want a KitchenAid mixer. I was like, I really want a KitchenAid mixer. And he was like, no, we're not getting a KitchenAid mixer. But if you sell something, I'll buy you a KitchenAid mixer. So I was in choir and I was like, guys, I really need this KitchenAid mixer. And one of my classmates was like, I need 200 cupcakes for my sister's baby shower. Will you make them? I'm like, yeah, I will. So my first order was for 200 red velvet cupcakes with cream cheese. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had no clue when I was making these cupcakes. I just wanted a stupid KitchenAid mixer.
Well,
and it started from there. We got a food truck park, bakery, storefront, location.
How did they taste? I mean, they
delicious because they were from the box.
Don't tell anybody the secret.
Honesty.
That's the baker's. That's known as the baker's.
The red velvet in the box is the best.
The baker's secret.
Oh my God, the honesty of it.
I mean, that was my very first order. You know what I mean? But then after that,
Well, so you went from you did the cupcakes,
yeah,
and then you go back to the truck.
Yes.
So then you said, you know what? Let's try to sell this stuff in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I used to sit over on Smith and McKinney. I used to sit on Smith in Dallas.
Right around here.
Yeah, and then I sat in front of KBR a lot with my cupcake truck. I used to sit over at GRB, Georgia Brown.
What's your name of your
At that time, it was Z-Pod Cakery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a little white and green and orange.
And people knew, I need to go to the cupcake lady.
And I would post on our Twitter and our Facebook and be like, hey, we're in front of KBR right now till this time to this time. And then they would all come swarming down.
How beautiful.
Yeah. And then when the Super Bowl came into town, they bought 2,000 of our push pops, which we sell at the bakery. Mm-hmm. They bought 2,000 of those. So they wanted to make sure that they kept the money local in the community. So that's how we ended up with that Super Bowl gig. And then we were able to have the capital to rebrand and have the storefront and go from there.
So when did you do the storefront?
A year prior to the Super Bowl. So that was like 2017, 14.
So you've had your storefront now for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you got hit with COVID too.
Oh my God, twice, because we have a coffee shop too.
Okay, I want to talk about COVID.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring it back to Chef Willie in a moment. And Brandy, we'll get your experience as well. Did I find that clip of the young man baking or no? Oh, rats. Okay, keep looking. Keep looking. See if you can get it there. Okay, I see Miss Brandy there. Well, he's going to keep looking. As we go back, let me go ahead and as you're looking, take a quick pause and let's go ahead. So this is my daughter Juju and the St. Agnes performance workshop.
Agnes, my aunt went there.
And it's all girls. And let's go ahead and turn on that and so the people can hear it. And can you go back to the beginning? I'm making my producer work today.
So I was like, hey,
A little bit louder, a little bit louder, a little bit louder. A little bit louder now, a little bit louder, a little bit louder now. Everybody knows that song, or I'm the only one that knows it.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, there we go. So Juju is the front row, the third from the right. Right there. Put the arrow right there. That's my princess right there. So Juju is the front row, the third right there.
So I work real hard each and every day. Now things for sure are going my way. Just doing what I do. Look out, boys, I'm coming through, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. People gonna come here from everywhere, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
All right, let's go ahead. That was good. That's my daughter Juju.
That's my favorite Disney movie.
Yes.
That's my favorite Disney movie.
Oh yeah, there
It
you go.
is. I was like trying not to sing so y'all could hear it.
Well,
but if she did sing, it would be a blessing for us. She is a beautiful singer.
That's right.
Thank you.
So,
in a moment, I want you to think of a little, sing us a few bars in a moment.
Oh my God.
oh
Okay.
my
So I'm gonna
goodness!
let you-
Don't make us cry.
I'm
I'm gonna take us to church a little bit, but
I'm
don't
gonna-
make us
I'm gonna
cry,
let you
please.
think
Which genre do you want us to
Oh.
do?
I'm gonna let you think through what you want to sing. So
All right.
as we're going to the show, I'm gonna come back to you and say, okay, here you go now.
Okay.
All right, Miss
Okay.
Liz. But let's go to something, Chef Will. I'm gonna start with you. Business had to change during COVID
Yes,
because it was survival.
it was.
It was survival.
It was.
For all of with humanity, all of every country in the world, every business, everybody had to figure out how to survive. Oh, I think we have a caller already. Let's see if we want to put that through before we get into it. Do we have a caller there, Miss Daisy? Hold on. Jordan. Is there a Jordan on the line? Jordan.
Yes.
You
Hi.
got me, Gilbert, a tick from me, Talk Inspiration Prayer, with 3 incredible master chefs and just the whole work here. In fact, if you looked at all 3 of them, you probably got like 100 years worth of baking experience right here. Pretty amazing.
Yes.
Go ahead there, Jordan.
pretty
What do you
accurate.
got? I mean, it's amazing. Jordan, what do you got for
Yeah.
us?
Yes, I just had a question for the 3 of the guests. I was just very curious, what is their favorite thing to make? Or if somebody requested it, what's their favorite, what's their favorite baking thing or what recipe, whatever it is?
That's a great. What is your favorite thing to bake?
Let's start with Chef Liz.
Oh my God. Okay. So
Yeah, she's gonna say
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
no, I'm not going to say that because it's not true.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So my favorite thing to make is peppermint brownies. Peppermint brownies made with grasshopper cookies, and you put it in the brownie mix, and you put it in the oven. And it's just so delicious with extra chocolate chips inside. The best.
Well, I I haven't had that, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm ready to try it.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry
Uh,
to bring any.
And is it hard to make or no?
No, you can just use a box.
Stop, Liz. Stop.
Boy.
Straight to the point.
But okay, so for people at home, you can use a box.
Yeah, because you know what?
But for chef nods like us, you can use flour, cocoa powder from Ghirardelli,
There you go.
some Calibo chocolate Calais.
No,
Valrhona.
seriously.
Well, we love that. Well, Miss Brandy, what about you? So what's your favorite thing to bake?
My favorite dish to make is my mango glazed salmon.
Oh my
Mango.
god!
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a dish.
Oh,
That's
yes.
Yes.
You know, I thought you were going to say, red velvet cupcake, but no.
No, my mango glazed salmon.
And what's the key to it? What do you like about it?
Just the way the temperature of the grill, the way I'm grilling it.
Mhm.
You want it to be not moist, and when you bite into it, and then the mango sauce, just all of this compared together, this yumptious.
It really is.
That's the thing about the Baker's Awards that I judged. I had to use those stringent yumptious. I had to use the right adjectives because I couldn't just say, this tastes great.
Right.
Or less filling. Great, tastes great. No. Chef Willie, tell us about what is your favorite thing to bake?
For me to, I step in both worlds. I'm a baker and I do culinary food. So when I'm doing baking, it has to be a custard. So when I say custard, cheesecake, ice cream, a pie, coconut cream pie, I'm just a custardy man.
Now, tell me something. You said a word that I don't know. You
Okay.
said a baker or culinary.
Culinary chef as
So
well.
what is that?
So
The difference?
The ones that cook the food and the ones that bake. The ones that does desserts are bakers and pastry chefs, and then the ones that do food are culinarians. They do the savory. They're the savory end of things.
Very
And so if I
interesting.
look at it from a savory side of things, right now my Korean lamb chops are just literally
Wow.
my number one hit, my number one seller on my menu, and people just love it.
But not better than those chicken skewers.
Oh,
There's no
no.
way. No
No.
way.
They're-
I know. I've had
That's your number one.
See, we
Mr.
all go
Gilbert.
back to what we love the most. We all go back to the basics.
Now, my daughter, my princess, she's saving up because she wants to go do a summer culinary class in Paris.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So she's found a place, and it ain't cheap.
No.
Oh,
Is
we
it the
already know
cordon
that.
bleu?
Le cordon
Well,
bleu.
I'm embarrassed. I'm
Le cordon
embarrassed to
bleu.
say. I'm going to write that down. I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know what it is, but we're going to end up doing it.
Do
Sure.
it.
And there's
Do
different
it.
ones. There's some that are like 3 days, and there's
Mhm.
some that are like 3 weeks, and but we're going to do it, and I think she would have a blast.
No, honestly,
People
it's
love
so
it.
fun.
Yeah.
As a graduate of the Le Cordon Bleu, hello.
Yeah, is that their mascot?
No, that's just me. It's talking to the camera. I have to shout out myself.
Their mascot is like a gold fork
Yeah.
or something like that.
There's two types of when I told you there's this the pastries, the side of things, and then there's the savory side of things. Well, then when you get into the savory side of things, just like in any profession, there's the chefs who went to school and then the chefs who are self-taught.
Very
right?
interesting.
And a lot of the people who went to school, they come up with pretentious.
Charlotte, she says that they're listening from the Chase Building downtown.
nice.
Charlotte,
I used to
Charlotte
go there
Garcia,
too.
thank you for listening to us.
Yes, Charlotte.
That's awesome.
I see a bunch of people that have been writing things, but I just wanted to give her a shout out. But I don't
Oh,
mean
I
to cut you
love
off.
No, you're good. You're amazing. No, I was explaining in the world of savory, there's two types of chefs. There's the self-taught and the ones that went to
Yeah.
school. And sometimes the self-taught looks down on the ones with the school, the ones with the school looks down on the self-taught. But at the end of the day, it's all about experience
Yeah.
and what you can do and what's your culinary point of view that sets you apart. And so I love it. And I am a strong believer in sending everyone to culinary school because you just learn so many different techniques and methods. And they don't teach you recipes. They teach you methods. They teach you how to actually perform and or write a recipe, and I think that's the difference. That's what separates a true chef from like your average cook.
Very interesting.
Absolutely.
There's so much to it.
Yes.
It's much more than, well, I'm going to make a cake.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's just
Oh,
so
yeah.
much, and it's how you do it. It's the presentation, it's the look, etc. And I'm going to come back to the cake expert here in a moment here, Miss Brandy. But I want to go back to the business side because we're all really entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you aren't successful, you're not going to be able to do your craft,
Correct.
right? Because
Absolutely.
your craft is what you love, but we're all, adults and we got to make, pay payments and things like that. And COVID really was traumatic.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what was going on, and then COVID hit, and what did you think? Did you think, oh gosh, I'm just And how did you pivot?
You know, going back to 2020, that was just such a crazy year.
Yep.
You know, but as I look back on it now to where I am today, I think everything happened for a reason. Like everything happened to get us to where we are today. As far as for me, because when I saw a need in the in my community amongst my colleagues, as far as none of us were really getting work and the sales were going down, and from restaurants were suffering on one end, but there was no need for those other small group of people, the pastry chefs, the private chefs, the caterers, and the home bakers. We didn't get any relief. You know, restaurants got the relief.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that other small group of people that work in the culinary field got no help because we didn't. Maybe you are just a sole proprietor, or you don't have more than 4 employees. So, you know, it's those small little things like that. And so when I created the Mass Baker Baking Competition, it was literally just at a time to just bring awareness to remind Houston that we're still here. I didn't know that it was going to transform into 5 competitions later.
Wow.
And around competition number 3, Foodie TV was going to step in and create it into a real competition.
Oh, wow.
And then you come on board. You came on board in around the final season of 5, which we transitioned from the Bakers Guild to, I wanted to still keep this, the message going of inspiring our current generation of chefs, but also the next generation of chefs. And I went and partnered with Big Brothers Big Sisters so we could do that. And then just keep it building and keep it growing. And here we are in 2025 today, where we have still been able to keep the same mission alive from what started off as a simple competition during the time of COVID, which is to just highlight your chefs and your bakers. You know, they are the heart and soul of every celebration. You know, every party, every gathering, you're going to have some catering or you're going to have a cake. And if there's no food there, it's just a regular meeting.
That's right.
You know, remember that.
It is.
That's printed on my wall. Without a cake, it's just a meeting.
It's just a meeting.
It's on my wall.
You know what? And it's true.
That is so true.
It's true.
You know, and so bringing awareness after for hosting these the Bakers Guild Awards Gala, for transitioning from the competition to the gala, it still allows us to highlight the best and the brightest of the city from all different backgrounds and all different races, which is what I love about food. You know, it's not about a single race or a single look. It is about your culinary talent, and everybody is affected because everyone eats.
Boy, some of the people on the show when I was on it were so amazing.
Yes.
It's such elaborate creativity. And I love, there was one, I think she must have been like 14 years old, a young girl. And I just wanted to just go hug her because she was cuter than cute in her outfit. And there were her parents. And it was glorious to see her.
And, you know, side note to this, just a small update on her. Her name is, she was named Kid Baker Mia Bush. She was the runner-up in that season to Chef Mike Horn, who won with Sweet Tooth Cheesecakes. She has gone off to still create her own line of baklava. And she was our very first recipient of a culinary scholarship. She used that money to go and buy her equipment, from her KitchenAid mixer to little hand mixer and her little bowls and things, and just further her own culinary education. So when she finally does get out of high school and go to pursue her career, she'll be ready.
She was just wonderful. Oh, I just loved her.
Yeah, so it's amazing. It definitely is amazing. So what started in 2020 has led to us here today and get ready to do it all over again and just keep that same mission going. And that's why I was able to I wanted to bring these chefs here with me as well, because they've been recipients of awards, and they've been members of the Bakers Guild, and they know how it feels to be on the helping side, and they know what it takes to, like, you know what I'm saying, run this business and survive.
That's what's great about you, if you don't mind, before I go into this, Brandy, is you could have just said, well, I want to be on the show because I'm promoting me. But you said, no, I want to promote everyone.
Absolutely.
And that what makes you special.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Miss Brandy, so let's go to you now. So tell us again about your store.
So yes, I don't have a store. So
okay.
A little bit about me.
So are you a caterer then?
I'm a caterer.
Okay, excuse me.
I am a home-based catering. I actually started catering since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Self-taught. Actually, my mother taught me. And then over the years, through courses and classes that I have took, it's just everything just been evolving.
And how do people then know to, I guess word of mouth, or people go to the event, they're like, well, I love this food.
Word of mouth. I do have like big, corporate events and nonprofit organizations that I have been working with, pretty much majority of my clients I've been working with them now for like over 3 and 4 years.
Oh, how great.
So all of my clients is like repeat clients.
Oh, how
And she's been extremely humble. She came out the gate winning. She made her big debut at Houston's Black Restaurant Week. No one knew who she was, and by the end of the night, everybody was walking over to her table like, "Who is that lady?
Wow.
Who is she?" And she walked away with the trophy that night. And her presentation is some of the best presentation I've ever seen.
Wow.
And I've been in the game 14
Yeah,
years.
you've been around.
She's been very humble.
It's like that song, "Who's That Lady?"
She's been extremely humble. She's a multi-award winning chef over here. She's been extremely humble.
Yes.
So, no, shine.
Well, let's
Talk your shit.
let's go to something then.
Yes.
Let me ask something then. What's like the biggest event you've done?
And I thank Chef Willie for that. Yes, the biggest event, I would say either like for Big Brothers or Genesis Work, all my, the nonprofits, 300, 400 events. Like I say, no event is like too small or too large for us. When COVID did hit, I did transition and did like cooking classes. I did cooking classes for kids, for adults. I came into their home. Some of them wanted to like, do small intimates to where they didn't want to do like large gatherings. So if it was like 6 to 12 people, I came in and taught them how to, cook meals, family meals. That way they didn't have to go out to the restaurants and, just do something in their home. So from my aspects of the catering end, luxury catering, but I do small to large.
How wonderful.
And I've been in business now for 10 years.
10 years. So
10 years.
how did COVID hit you?
It hit me, but I still stood with something. Like I said, I either converted to like meal preps. I was doing meal preps for clients and just like small intimate gatherings. It wasn't nothing like over capacity over like 12 or 20. That's when I went to the small intimate settings.
Mhm.
So you were able to survive.
I was able to survive.
That's
yes.
wonderful. And now is your bigger events back?
Oh yes. Oh, the bigger events is back and blooming. Like you said, every day I take each event with a learning experience. I'm very humble. I thank Chef Willie because every time he called me, I always just stay grounded and because of the person that he is and bringing other chefs in, and that's why I'm like that. I always give back to as well.
That's wonderful.
So we both on the receiving end and also on the giving back end too as well. So we do that, and that's what makes us who we are.
That's so
Yes.
wonderful. Well, let me come to you, Miss Liz. So then you started, you had the big cupcake order, then you went to the food truck, cupcake truck,
Right.
and then you got your storefront win.
2014.
So, and then
Or it was 15.
and then you got hit with COVID a couple of years after that.
Yes.
And how do we make it? How do we handle it?
I barely made it.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
barely made it. We didn't skip our rent, thank goodness.
Yep.
But we didn't get any ERC money, no PPE money,
Nothing
because we were too small.
Wow.
That's
And we still had rent. We still had all of those big things to take care of. And then we had the coffee shop, which we took over 1 year prior to COVID.
Oh my goodness, 1 year prior.
1 year prior. And just honestly, nothing has recovered for us yet.
Yeah,
Nothing has recovered.
I believe it.
All them, and I see this with the most respect and decency for this home bakers, but a lot of them had a lot of time on their hands during COVID to learn. And it's hard for us storefronts now because there's a lot of moms at home making cakes. And I'm not saying that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a good thing, but it's very hard now.
It's the reality.
It's a reality of it.
I totally get
Yeah.
it. The business side of it
Mhm.
is one thing. I think a lot of bakers and chefs are wonderful cooking, but they need to
Absolutely.
learn that business side too.
Right.
Because if you go out on your own, it's going to be critical.
It's
Yeah.
extremely difficult.
Yeah. Because the margins are thin.
Mhm.
Miss Brandy, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's always a difference too, because some people look at it as the side of home baking. So don't mean you got what you got, because God gonna continue to bless you, Miss
Right.
Liz. But see, the people that's at home, let's say if they can bake, but who can bake on their larger scale and make that same quality and that service consistent across the board. And that's
Right.
the difference also between the caterers and the people that's doing it from another different aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be consecutive, through the whole. When you cooking for 300 or 400 people, or even for 100 people, you got to have that same consistency
Mm-hmm.
throughout your whole meal. Everybody, so you got to get that down.
And let me ask you this. So then, Miss Liz, when you do a big event,
Sure.
you have to have like the right equipment.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this isn't like, I got a man on radar range or one of those things. I mean, this is
Mhm.
like a big
like commercial kitchen
that's right.
stuff. Yeah.
So you have the real deal?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And when you first got your real kitchen, did you like, I'm in heaven? I mean,
yes, because I'm the decorator. My husband is the baker. So
is that right?
Yeah, he's baking now, which is why he's not here.
Yes.
So Jerry is the baker, and
Jerry, I hope you're listening there, Jerry.
Hey,
Jerry, I hope you're listening.
So you may remember when I got the patisserie award, I dragged him on stage with me, and I was talking, and then I just started sobbing onto his shoulder, and it was just so funny. I just remember that day, and you gave us gorgeous long prayer, and it was like, I didn't mean like long, but it was a great prayer.
Well, y'all are a good team because you're in it together.
Yeah, we in it to win it, man. And then the kids, our children, ran the food truck with us. They, during the summers, they were on the truck with me downtown selling cupcakes and doing the deal, man.
Do you miss the food truck? Because it seems to me that's a whole different culture of people that are like return customers every day because you're in the front of their building and they just can't wait to see you. And I'll take this cupcake. And
I don't miss it because I feel like when I got into the food truck side of it, we were too soon. Like we hit the mark before the food truck scene really just popped.
I see.
And then when we got our food truck park on Highway 6 in Memorial, we were still too early. Like the trucks didn't want to pay for the rent, to pay for the parking lot or whatever. Right. And so we're just like, whatever, we're just going to shut it down. And then we just got because now food
trucks are like, they're in. Yeah. People know, like if you went like certainly in the Latino community, if you want the best tacos, you go to the food truck.
El Nortino's, hello, on 529. Yes. It's delicious. That's my favorite food truck.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows that's where you go.
Yeah.
But so you got the storefront. Where is it? Give everybody the name and where's it located and everything.
So Cake Fine Pastry is located on Eldridge and 529, kind of like 290 in the Beltway general vicinity. And Plum Coffee Shop is on Barker Cypress in 290.
So how far apart are they?
10 minutes.
Does that mean like someone's got to be at one place, someone's at the other?
So Jerry goes to the coffee shop in the morning at 5:30 to 10. And then he goes to the bakery from 10 to 3 and he's baking. And then I'm at the coffee shop from 7 to 10:30-ish, and then I come to the bakery, and then I start decorating.
And then you have other people that are there watching the coffee shop when you leave?
Yeah, we have a couple baristas that work there, too.
Oh, how wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah, it works out.
And is it, do you see, like, when you see small retail people, they look at Walmart as like, oh, there's Walmart. Do you see Starbucks as like, oh, there's Starbucks?
Let me tell you, when I look at Starbucks, I feel like they set the tone. But then it's the new people who are coming, the new like franchises that are coming that really kill the small local mom and pop shops. I feel because when we were I'm going to just tell you a real quick story. Please. On Barker Cypress, we were the only local coffee shop where we locally owned, locally roasted. We buy all of our coffee locally roasted from Jiva Coffee, and there's a couple other places that we get our coffee from, right? And then you have like Dutch Brothers come in, and then Summer Moon and I don't know if I cuss on here. Is it Bad ASS Coffee Shop? Yeah. That's another one, right? So, and there's 7 other coffee shops now on Barker Cypress.
Come on.
And we used to have a decent, maybe half of the pie. Now our sliver of the pie is really what's killing us.
Wow.
Because there's just too many coffee shops.
You know what? We gotta go patronize that coffee shop.
Yeah, shop local and grow together. Shop local, grow together, please.
Yeah, that should be like something on the wall.
Yeah. United we roll. Shop local, grow together.
That's so true.
And in the food truck world, it was United we roll. United we roll. Shop local, grow together.
Because you know what? That's where the beauty is. We don't want just big box stuff, and it's not personal.
It's not, and there's no education. It's not just pushing buttons and all that. I'm sorry, I'm getting really passionate about it.
You do.
This turned in from Cake Fine Pastry to Plum Coffee Shop, guys.
That's okay. I want to.
There's so much education and science behind the coffee industry. It's not just pushing the buttons and putting a milk under the steam wand. It's what's the temperature of the milk to make your coffee taste good, to make it not taste like it's burnt. Are you cleaning your machine properly? No, 90% of people don't.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is we are entrepreneurs at our firm.
Yeah.
So we own our firm. There's 16 of us that own the firm, and there's 40 employees total, including the 16. And when you own your firm, like when you own your shop, you own your catering, you own you're just going to give it that extra.
Right.
And the customer service, when someone wants a change order or something, you're like, you got it.
Yeah.
You can't get that with other big companies and things.
No, you can't.
And that's where we try to differentiate ourselves from the big companies, because they're talking to the owner, and we're going to give it the attention it deserves.
Right.
So let's come back to you, Chef Willie. That's like
It's like, which chef are you talking to, sir?
we all look.
We're all like,
right?
yes.
it's like there's a movie. Is there a doctor in the house? And there's like 5 guys with a stethoscope, and they're like, yes. I understand. Oh, look at that from Las Brisas Restaurant. Gilbert Garcia, thank you for promoting small businesses in Houston. Las Brisas Restaurant. Well, you know what? Thank you for listening. And I'm going to keep doing this no matter what, as long as the good Lord will allow me to. Thank you for saying that. So come back to you, Chef Willie.
Yes.
So tell us about the whole baking competition now. And when is the next competition? And tell us all about it.
Yeah, so things have transitioned for us big time in a major way. After we wrapped up with Foodie TV and we just focused on the Bakers Guild Foundation itself, our sister project, that's really the more forefront of it now, where, like I said, we're honoring the best and the brightest of the culinary community, and we're getting ready to prep for the next generation. We want to support those kid chefs and those kid bakers, and I'm really excited. We've reached out to my high school alum, Lamar High School.
That's your high school?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
That's my high school, and one of my alumni people over there, and her name is Fran Callahan. She's helping us create the Mass Baker Junior Culinary Scholarship Program.
Very good.
So that way we'll have their students compete for one of our culinary scholarships.
Oh, how wonderful.
And so that's how we'll keep the spirit of the competition alive, but still focus on the main focus of the Bakers Guild Foundation, which is to, like I said, highlight the best and the brightest, but also and help those bakers in need. Because, I realized that I've been doing this over the past 2 years now, where we actually transitioned to more of a grant program. And thank you for leading me down this path also. Because going back to 2022, one of our last meetings that we had, you were like, think about becoming a 501c3, and then think about really helping others and taking it to another level. And I didn't register at the moment what you were saying, but then I did it. And now
so now you're a 501c3.
We are.
Oh, how great.
And so I became that. And now we've been able to, because of people that's been helping see the cause of Christian Automobile Brothers, for example, people have been really helping us, and they help the organization so we can help those in need. Because I realized as simple as a $500 grant goes such a long way for just like the average small baker, the small business. I'm not talking about the big restaurants that get the federal assistance and things like that. I'm talking about like these two ladies right here next to me, from her little coffee shop or a home baker or home caterer. Something as simple as something so small goes such a long way. So we want to be able to create culinary grants, culinary scholarships for the next generation, and then still highlight the best of the best that's doing some amazing work here in the city also.
That is so wonderful. Give a round of applause, everybody, because
thank you.
Especially the youth.
Yes.
I mean, working with the youth is, number one, fulfilling, but number two, that's where it starts.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's like with your 6-year-old, and getting him to really expand his horizons and so forth, and to take pride.
Yes,
take pride in
love
it. Because it's so easy for kids to say, well, you know what, this is kind of just I want to go shoot hoops. You know what I mean? Because there isn't enough sort of support to go into cooking amongst the peers of kids. And so I think it's wonderful.
Thank you.
So that's super great. So let me come back to you, Miss Brandy. So you're now out there, you're doing the catering, you're doing great. What's the next step for you? Like, where do you see this going? Do you ever want to do your own storefront, or I just want to keep expanding my catering?
I want to keep, that's what I want to do. I want to keep expanding my catering. I do want to eventually own a storefront, and I just want to be known for, luxury and catering. I'm the type of person that I want to provide excellent service. As soon as you walk into an event, along with your decor, I want your food to also be savory. It's like we putting together an event for the client for the same common goal, to pull off an awesome experience for the client, and also to bring home, win. Each event, you also should hopefully gain another event or whatever.
Right.
And just I'm just big on presentation and quality in the savory and just the overall experience of all of my events. I stay focused. I stay humble. I want the client just to feel special love from the very first time that they hire me. It's like they gaining another family member or another loved one or the same in return or whatever. I love to keep the communication open with them. If you need anything the day of or last minute, just let me know. If we need to alter anything, just let me know. I'm there. And that's why majority of all of my clients are repeats, are referrals.
Well, you're part of the family because when you're doing somebody's wedding or quinceañera or baptism or whatever it might be, you're part of it.
Yes.
And you have the ability, to make it grand. Or if it's not good, oh my God, the cake wasn't good or whatever you want to say. But let me go back to something. Let's go back to my question though, which is the deeper, which is, do you want to open up a storefront?
Yes.
Is that the end goal?
That's the end. Yeah, storefront, big storefront with Consuelo's Kitchen. To where the clients can come in, also taste the food, and then also they can also like just see day to day. Like I do offer cooking classes, so it will be experience to where they can come in and receive cooking classes. Kids can also take cooking classes, so that storefront will be also used for multiple uses too as well, besides catering too as well.
And so Consuelo's Kitchen. Are you Consuelo?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you're not Brandy.
Yes.
You're not Brandy.
I am Brandy too. So
You're Brandy Consuelo.
Yeah, I'm Brandy Consuelo Hines.
Okay,
yes.
wonderful.
Yes, Consuelo's. I got that from my grandmother on my dad's side. My dad is from Guyana, so my grandmother actually named me. So everybody was like, "How did you get your name?" But that name, so everything was like manifested since I was young, a child. Even through high school, through college, I was cooking in a dormitory.
Is that right?
At Texas Southern University, I was frying chicken. I shouldn't have been frying chicken in the dormitory, but I was cooking. So when it was time for me to...
we practiced safe cooking, though, in that dorm.
It was an air fryer back then.
We did.
So when it was time for me to start my business in 2014, my mother passed in 2010. That's the whole reason why I actually started my business, to bring me back closer to her. So it's like a little safe haven while I'm cooking. It reminds me of her in the kitchen. And I was thinking of what should I name it? And everybody used to always say, "We finna go to Consuelo's Kitchen. We finna go to Consuelo's Kitchen" in high school and college. So it was like, it was manifested. Everything throughout my whole year, even through like the courses, the college, the jobs I had with management and HR, everything that I had has led me up to being who I am now, entrepreneur in my business.
How wonderful. Congratulations. Hold that thought. We have another caller. Is there another caller? Oh, we lost it. Okay, that's okay. They'll come back. Call back. So let's come to you, Miss Liz.
Sure.
So where's the end game? I mean, do you want to one day be, your own Starbucks with 5 outlets or?
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I would like to always be local, but never a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Like, I always
you don't
want to
lose the touch.
Right.
The touch.
Yeah, because that happens whenever you start to thin out. You lose that, and I don't want to lose that.
And do you ever hope to have I don't know the right word here, but like a broader restaurant?
Yeah, I want to eventually not always be at the bakery and always be at the coffee shop. I don't want to be at either one of them every day.
I see. And the coffee shop has pastries and things too.
Yeah,
right?
it carries cake, fine pastries.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a little bit of the food there as well.
Right.
But would you ever have a desire to build a restaurant out?
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me that idea.
Well, there you go.
Jerry.
It could be called Gilbert's Restaurant.
Or at least name a dish after it for sure.
It's in the blood.
Jerry, you and I, we're going into business now.
It's funny that you mentioned that because the restaurant industry is in my blood, and I didn't know it for a long time until my grandmother told me that Maud Landry was my great aunt. Landry.
No kidding.
Yeah, before Mr. Tillman took over, which he's really great at doing what he does. I'm so grateful that he helped them out. But Maud Landry was my great aunt.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How wonderful.
It's in the blood somewhere. I mean, I'm a Cajun, so.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure, I don't know Mr. Tillman.
Yeah.
Fertitta, but I had the pleasure of, I was on Mary Lee Brown's group that was trying to figure out what to do with the Waterworks building and the old fire station. And we had several different proposals, and one was like a museum of this, another was a museum of that. And Tillman Fertitta came in, and he presented something which was like an arcade with a big Ferris wheel and all that, and a big
Yep.
aquarium.
Oh, yeah.
And, I remember him distinctly. And I said, well, what's going to make people come to your, aquarium in this? He goes, and of course he didn't know me because I was on the judging panel to choose the winning thing. And he said, well, sir, he goes, remember something. It's all about the food.
Oh,
It's all about the food.
That's what he said. It was like a light bulb went on me. He goes, I can have a Ferris wheel and I can but if the food's not good, nobody's going to come.
You're
It's
right.
always about the food. And you cannot forget it's about the food.
oh yeah.
And so that has stayed with me my whole life. And of course, he built the aquarium, and now, of course, it's been very successful. But he always was about the food, and he wanted to make sure. I remember vividly because I was concerned about, as a person of color, the Latino community, the African American community. And I started thinking, well, but what's the price point going to be? Because if you have a very expensive, 5 stars, dollar sign type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to lock out our people. And I thought that's the people that are going to go there for the Ferris wheel and all the games. He goes, no, we're going to have the right price point for families.
No,
And he did it.
Tillman is a great guy. He'll walk in some rooms and some people love him, and he'll walk in other rooms and he might not get the same reaction. But I think that for us chefs and us entrepreneurs, coming up into the industry, he is someone that you can look at and be like, wow, this man did this he built this hospitality group,
That's right.
And that's something that I can achieve one day. I remember actually serving him at one of his restaurants many years ago when I was before even culinary school. And I was serving over at McCormick and Smith, and I got to serve him in one of those little private VIP over at Uptown Park with like the curtain behind it. I'll never forget that. And I served him and his guests. And so
I don't know because I'm not allowed in there.
and so I just remember serving him that one time, and then he was like, "You're a great server. What are you planning to do?" And I was like, "I'm actually getting ready to go to culinary school, and then I'm going to go from there." And I was like, "And one day I want to own as many restaurants as you." And he was like, "Well, good luck to you, young man." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? I'm not there yet, but I'm like somewhere in the middle."
That's right. Yeah,
somewhere in the middle.
Well,
the world knows my name,
and
so that works.
It's about the food.
Absolutely,
it's always about the food.
Absolutely.
So let's come back to you, Chef Willie. That is, which is, so where are you going to take this? Because you're still a young man.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate? Do you want a storefront? You have your place.
Yes.
Do you hope to have a restaurant, a couple of restaurants? I mean, where is Chef Willie? 10 years from now.
That's a great question. I recently just took my first trip to Atlanta. Didn't realize I had so many celebrity friends out there.
No kidding. That's wonderful.
And the first thought now is just expanding. I've been talking to Bake Girl Magic over in Atlanta. I've been talking to the CBS 46 team with Ashley Tierley, and just doing things to prepare for that next journey to move the Baker's Good Awards to Atlanta as well, and then just open it up to different cities. Because I told myself, if I was able to help so many people here in Houston, how many more chefs out there need help as well?
A bunch.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And that's what I'm realizing right now.
And all that undiscovered talent
Yes.
that's just waiting to
be discovered.
Yes.
And the only thing and I've said this since day one, the only thing that separates all of us chefs in this culinary world is our own individual point of view. Mm-hmm. And we're all just simply waiting for the right door to just open up.
That's right.
And I always look at it when I've only been here as a real chef here in Houston the past 4.5 years, right? Since 2020, that same exact year, going to the 5th year here in Houston. And so if I didn't meet Mr. Claude that year, mm-hmm. I probably wouldn't be in this room with you today.
No kidding.
And I realized it's all about who you meet, and God puts the right person in your right life at the right time. And my very first gig out here was at the Carter Law Firm, and I met Mr. Claude and Judge Lena Hidalgo, and my career just took off from there.
Well,
but at the end of the day, the food did speak for itself.
What's interesting is I would have never guessed you only been kind of here 5 years because everybody knows you.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're Chef Willie. It's just Chef Willie. Everybody knows Chef Willie.
And it's because Mr. Claude took me up under his wings and introduced me to the right people Mr. Claude took me from himself to Miss Judy, and Miss Judy to Miss Sandra Strahan, to Michael Kubosh, and Michael Kubosh to the mayor, and then
How wonderful
and then
is
now
that?
I'm standing behind the mayor in photos for rest in peace.
That's so wonderful. Hold that thought. Is there a Julia on the line?
Yes, hi.
Julia, you have me, Gilbert Garcia, with a tip from me. What do you got for one of my esteemed colleague chefs here?
I was wondering, I wanted to cook more, and I was wondering what a good, easy recipe to start off with is.
So what would you tell a
That's a
beginner?
Brandy question.
A beginner.
That is a good one. A beginner,
A
Brandy?
beginner, they can do a grilled chicken breast.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Can you cook a chicken breast?
Yeah, I can cook chicken.
Okay.
Just make
That's
sure
a
you put a
good,
lot of
that's a
lemon
good
butter.
thing to start with.
A lot of lemon butter.
Yes, I would say take your chicken breast and fillet it. You want to season it to your perfection on both sides of the chicken breast, and you want to pan sear it on both sides of the pan from 5 to 7 minutes.
Make sure your pan is hot enough.
Yeah, make sure your pan with the olive oil.
Yeah.
Make sure your pan is hot enough with the olive oil. That can be a good, start for you right there. A grilled chicken breast. Some people don't. If you feel like it's not going to be done enough in the inside, because some people is particular about that, and you don't want to overcook it. Once you pan sear it on both sides, you can put it in the oven for at least about 10 to 15 minutes just to let it finish off. But I like my chicken to be moist. So
Me
I
too.
just pay very close attention of the pan seared on both sides and how long you'll keep it, on.
So Miss Julia, so the key is this: moist.
Yes.
I think as
And
a
I always do get scared over or under cooking the chicken, so I never need to bake it.
because
perfect.
I think moist is really the key, because there's nothing worse, or not
Yes.
worse, but nothing more disappointing than dry chicken.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
absolutely.
So hopefully that made sense to you. So thank you for calling in, and hopefully you call in again. Now, I know we got a couple of other callers, but I don't think we're going to get to them because we've got only like 3 or 4 minutes, and I know I've got my 30-second commercial. I want to make sure I give all the chefs one by one a chance. I'm going to go reverse order to say whatever you want to say to Houston, whether it's about being an advocate for local talent, whether it's about your favorite, anything, what inspired you. This is your time to tell Houston anything you want to tell them. And remember, can you believe it's already been 1 hour?
Yeah.
Y'all probably thought, what are we going to say for an hour? I'm not going to be able to talk for it. It's an hour. It's over.
It's very fast.
It's unbelievable.
Very fast.
So, Miss Liz, you got time. There you go.
So life is in the blink of an eye. Keep it sweet and keep it local, baby.
Oh,
There you go. Life
yes.
is in the big blink. I need that on a poster. Thinking of
was
I, keep
great.
it local.
And keep it sweet.
And keep it sweet. And don't forget the baby.
Don't forget.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We have 2 minutes left. Go.
I thought she was going to bust out. Jerry, Jerry, you're going to get a private performance later on. Okay.
He's tired of it.
Miss Brandy, you go for it.
Okay, yes. Cherish every moment in your life, and just go for your passion. Go for your pursuit in life. The sky's the limit. Do not sleep on your dreams at all.
Amen. It's interesting because I try to tell young people that when they think about, well, what do I want to be when I grow up in my career, this and that, and there's such a fixation in society today about how you're going to make money and this and that. And I always say, you know what? Do what you love, because if you love it, you're going to enjoy it, and if you love it and enjoy it, you're going to be good at it.
But
please,
do it with a passion.
There you
Don't
go.
do it for a paycheck.
that's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Do it with passion
That's
and
right.
with grace.
Because if you love it,
It will show.
success will happen.
Yes.
The key is to do what you love, whatever it is. Do what you love. Amen.
Amen.
You and I, we're together. We're
Yes.
together. Chef Willie, you got the last word here. You got about a minute or so.
Real easy. Just take a time out. If you can help someone, do it. Help those in need.
You always
simple
do
as that. And thank you for inspiring me to do that, Mr. Gilbert. I've watched you help so many people, and you've helped so many people in so many different causes. And watching you and the other mentors that's come before me, that the philanthropist that's done it. I just want to inspire the next people as well. So thank you for inspiring me.
Come here, man. Come on.
And
think-
we hope to have you back again this year
Heck yeah.
at the Baker's Guild Awards
Yes.
May 30th.
May 30th. I got to chip the town.
Can I just say real quickly how Chef Willie talks so great about everybody that he like we're humble, yes, like we don't know what to say about ourselves, but he can give our entire thing out in 3 seconds. These people are amazing, and
this is
we are
the
so
reasons
grateful
why.
He's a
that you're able to do that.
He's a good spokesperson for the whole community, the whole effort. You know what? I think we're out of time.
All right.
But you know what? This was a great show. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. This is Gilbert Garcia saying we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Thank you.
This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia. Listen to my radio show, A Tip from Gilbert. Talk, inspiration, and prayer every Monday from 11 a.m. till noon on Houston's gospel leader, KWWJ. 1360 AM and streaming live on kwwj.org. Listen on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on kyokradio.org. KCOH 1380 AM on San Geek Radio 95.1 FM 1460 AM and Aliento Radio 101.7 FM and 1540 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.